Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2021 Fall Sports Awards. What a fall! This year, rather than go through all the thank yous, we have a lot to talk about. So I just want to say one thank you to all the people that are behind the scenes. You know who you are. The athletic department is grateful for everything that you do for us. So thank you to everybody behind the scenes. I want to give a big shout out to all of you, student body and the athletes. What a fall. Your support going from blue gold to the games to dressing up in pajamas and 80s wear and everything that the athletes did in the pool, on the surface running around and on the volleyball court. Just congratulations to the student body. You were so well behaved. I was so proud to be part of the semifinals and finals. So a huge round of applause. So for our ceremony, the teams, you will not come up to the stage. So stay in your seats. If you're an award winner, will you please come up after the ceremony to receive your plaque? And all fall seniors, please come up to the stage after, and I will have a plaque for you as well. Okay, here we go. We're on to cross country and Coach Defer.
Good morning, Eagles. First, of course, I would like to acknowledge everyone who has ever used this land to help themselves or help other people, and then acknowledge that we're here doing the same thing, that you acknowledge that you're using this land to help yourself, most importantly, but also to help other people. So thank you for that. I'd like to thank Mitch. And of course, Coach Rhoden and Coach Lewis and Coach Koswer and Dr. Binger and Ms. Ragsdale for all their support and getting us through the season with all the logistical stuff. We had a great season. We ran about 7 meets, 3.1 miles at a meet. We had a lot of success. I'd like to go through a little bit of everyone that participated. I'll just recognize everyone for their efforts. Jonas Rempe. I think we can all know that he's kind of busy working on some other skills right now, but he was able to come out to practice a little bit and compete a couple meets. Nick Dahl, I would just acknowledge that his legs are getting larger. The Zack Frank. The Zack Frank is this complex of human flesh that worked together, and they were great. So thank you, Zack Frank. They came out and ran excellent meet at the sectional meet that catapulted the guys to be able to qualify for the state meet. So thank you to them. Jason Lynn took a good 45 seconds off his PR at the sectional meet to help catapult the guys' team into the state meet as well. Thank you for that. Mateo Brenes came from just kind of showing up and hanging out in the back of the pack to moving up slowly to the front of the pack and getting more competitive, getting more serious. And it was wonderful to see that transformation in him. Thank you, Mateo. He took 4 minutes off his time this season to get the guys to qualify for state as well. We have some coaches awards for the guys. There is Alex Geiser, who ran about 22 miles this year, and none of them was under 7 minutes and 15 seconds. We got Sam Novak, who ran under 19 minutes twice this season. So those are 2 freshmen that are going to support this team for the next 3 years, so we're looking forward to working with them. And we have Jack Dahl, who is receiving the 3rd Coaches Award, as well as our 4-year award. Jack's the only 4-year veteran on the team, and he transformed from being kind of a background player to taking on his leadership role in the team quite a bit. So I'm really happy to see that. He transitioned from going, absolutely, give it up for Jack. 4 years ago, Jack was talking about what a chair would look like if your knees bent the other way. And this year, Jack was talking about how he was going to beat this guy and beat that guy and do this with his time. And it's just such a great transition. Excellent, Jack. Jack, as a freshman, ran 36-minute 5K, 29-minute as a sophomore, 24-minute as last year, and this year, to help us get to the state meet, he ran 23:37. So excellent progress, Jack. Thank you. Yeah, give it up for Jack one more time. Moving on to the girls' side, Amelia Saffer was one of 8 athletes to run her best race at the sectional meet, which allowed the girls' team to qualify for the state meet, so thank you, Amelia. Sure. Sophia Criselli, going back to using this land to help other people, she gave up her sunrise mornings and her after-school pleasantries to come run with us to try and get the team, have a fifth runner to be able to qualify to have a team at the state meet. With just half of the season to work with, she was able to take 3 minutes off her 5K time, which is really commendable, dealing with a lot of shin pain. So thank you, Sophia, for doing that. Sophia Nistor ran under 25 minutes twice this season. Very commendable. And then we've got our 3 Coaches Awards. First for Ella Brenes, who ran a 20:50 3.1 mile. She scored 10th at the sectional meet and 19th at the state meet. Jenna Powell, 20:53 PR, personal record, for 3.1 miles. She was 11th at the sectional meet and 15th at the state meet. And Kimmy Cahoon ran a 19:42 as her fastest time this year. She was top 6 in all of but 1 meets this year. She was 3rd at sectionals and 3rd at state. She's just the core of this team, and thank you all for your efforts. Give it up for the cross-country team.
Thank you to the cross-country teams, boys and girls, on a great season. Thank you to Coach Hall, Coach Tafur on a wonderful season. I did forget one thank you. I'm going to say it now. Thank you to an amazing coaching staff. How about a real round of applause for them?
I just want to thank Coach Hall for also being on the team. He's coaching with me, and somehow I spaced that out. I apologize. But he's a huge, huge factor. Every morning this summer, he was out there running with, or riding with Kimmy and Jenna and Ella. So there's a huge part of our success. So thank you, Coach Hall.
Thank you, cross country. And now on to our swim and dive state champion coaches. First to the podium will be Coach Pruitt with the dive team.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank the supporters of our team. Thank you to Dr. Allison and Mr. K for coming out and watching not only the swim and the dive, but just always being there to support the kids. Really appreciate that when you're out in the stands. I'd also like to thank Bob Kossauer and Shane Lewis for allowing us to host so many great meets. There's really never a year that goes by without a coach from another team commenting on the fact that Coach Lewis is so supportive, comes over, checks on everybody, makes sure everybody's okay, and they all say that they wish they had an athletic director that was like that for them, so I thank you very much for that. So I love to read books about great athletes and coaches and sports programs, and I found this quote that really summarizes what we do as coaches, and that's really coaches of any sport. We don't just coach fill in the blank. We coach decision making, we coach choices, we coach consequences, we coach respect, we coach life on and off the field. My divers learned a lot about choices and consequences and life this season. This year was a season of overcoming injuries and fighting through adversity. We started out with Chase recovering from a back fracture. Not a great thing for a diver. His journey required patience and timing. When could I push? When did he need rest? Then as the season progressed, we had prolonged illness with Sierra, a re-injury of Simone's stress-fractured foot, and an aggravation of Lauren's torn fascia. They were literally the walking wounded. But some of the highlights of the season were Jade and Jasmine achieving their goal to learn 11 dives and to compete in an invitational meet. Roz deciding 2 weeks into the season to try dive again and surprising everybody by placing 9th at state. Claire's funny antics when trying to figure out the physics of a diving board, and obviously the outstanding results of the state meet. The entire dive team screaming during the boys' last relay race with state title on the line and history being made with both boys and girls winning state titles were amazing and something I'll never forget. So now on to my awards. Chase, as I mentioned earlier, had to overcome a devastating back injury sustained almost a year ago. He stayed patient and focused, and at the end, stayed focused on the end goal of winning the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his back was 100% recovered. He was able to compete in the state title. We baby stepped his dives, and his ba And as his back was getting stronger, he stayed the course and ended up winning the state title by over 65 points. He also broke an AIA state record for Division III diving. So one of my coach's awards goes to Chase Sorosky. To say that Simone is not a morning person is a vast understatement. So 6 a.m. practices were a big adjustment for her. She showed up and worked hard. Then came the reoccurrence of the stress fracture of her foot. Just when you want to ramp up practices towards the end of the season, we had to do the opposite. She spent many practices in pain and on the sidelines, but she pushed through all of that to end up as runner-up in the state championships. I could not be more proud of her grit and determination. My second coach's award goes to Simone Sevie. At a recent coaches meeting held by Coach Lewis with all the PCDS coaches, we talked about the role of a captain and how their leadership affects the team. Well, this was my 29th season as head coach of the PCDS diving team, and Lauren is one of the best captains I've had in my entire career at PCDS. Lauren always puts the team first. She led by example. She inspired her teammates. She embodied the core values of the team. She would help her teammates with new dives. She would film for me so her teammates could improve, and she kept everyone informed and ready to compete. And to add to all that, she re-injured her fascia tear right before the state meet. She worked through the pain and went on to earn the bronze medal at state. Lauren has a bright future ahead of her. My last coach's award goes to Lauren Young.
Yep. Thank you, Coach Pruitt. Congratulations to the dive team. And now a man of few words, Coach McZuga for boys and girls swimming.
Once again, we had a pretty successful season. At the beginning of this season, one of the things I've always thought about over the years here at Country Day is it would be great to be able to win both titles. And going into this season, I was a little doubtful that we could do it, but there was always that little bit of hope that we had a chance to do it. We lost a lot of points and graduated some great seniors last year on the boys' side. But on the other side, on the girls' team, we had four of probably the best freshmen coming in any other school, whether it be Division I, II, or III. And so we kind of had, on one side, I was pretty hopeful and pretty confident. On the other side, I was doubtful, but still hopeful. And by the end of the season, we continued the streak. We go against 18 schools during the school year for the dual meets. We won 18 of those matches, both in the boys and girls. This is the 5th year in a row now. The girls have gone undefeated in a row, and the boys have now gone 8 seasons without losing a dual meet. So congratulations to our team there. We were also able to win both our invitationals this year, which helped us qualify for state. In qualifying for state this year, we had 22 of the 30 kids that went out for swimming end up making it to state. Out of those 22, all 22 participated and scored at our state meet. So with that said, some of the results we had, we ended up with 1 state title, and that was with the boys win in the 200 medley relay of Oliver Lehman, Tyler Sessler, Richard Humphreys, and Caleb Humphreys, winning the state title in 2 medley. I'm going to talk a little bit about our girls team first. And like I said, we had a lot of depth that came in the year, and I always scope out all the other teams before the dual meets, and I keep my database and try to figure out what the odds are and what we have to do to try to win the meets. And every year we're always a little bit, behind, but we're always got that promise that we have a chance to win it. A couple years ago, we finished second, just falling short by, I think it was like 20-some points, winning the title on the girls' side. Last year, we fell to third, losing a few really prime team members because of COVID. And this year, the girls did something that was pretty amazing. We won our first state title, but more than that, we didn't just win it. we killed everybody. We were 329 points was our point total at the end of that meet. The next closest team was 192 points. So I was pretty confident, and I guess I had reason to be. So I'm really proud of the girls' team and what they were able to do. On the boys' side, it was a little different. I was a little pessimistic or hopeful, but pessimistic at the beginning of the season. We got into the first day of the meet qualifying for the finals, and going into finals, it looked like we weren't going to do it. Looked like we were going to fall short about 9 points, I think it was, or 8 points. So during the meet, I kept my totals going as we're going and kept the kids attuned to what was going on during the meet. And with 2 events to go in the meet, there's 12 events in swimming. With 2 events to go, we were down by 17 points. So at that point, I was kind of like, well, it was close. But in one event, the boys, we had 3 boys swimming in the second to last event, and those boys were able to score enough points to where it went down to the last relay. And all we had to do was get second or first in the last relay, and we would end up winning our boys' state title. And I'm proud to say that we ended up second, and we ended up winning our state title by 5 points. So, and something I've dreamed about for all these years of coaching here at Country Day was winning both titles in the same year. And this is the first time, not only did we win both titles, but it's the first time that any school has had a girls' team and a boys' team win those titles in the same year. So congratulations to the Eagles. I'm going to go through and announce our 4-year winners, or 4-year participant awards, and they go to Tyler Sessler, 4 years, Wade Hunter, Charlize Seto, Sienna Hayes, and Haley Moran. And those are our 4-year winners. Like I said, we had some of the strongest freshmen coming in on the girls' team, which is going to keep our girls' team pretty solid for the next 4 years. But the problem was when I got them down to trying to decide who's our award winners were, trying to see who was the biggest impact player. And it was pretty hard. 3 of those girls, if you went down to points, were really close, like within 5 or 6 points of what they were able to do over the dual meet season. So when it came down to the end, I kind of took their dual meet points and their state meet points to decide who our biggest impact player. And our biggest impact from our freshmen was Lelia Summington. Our biggest impact player on the boys' side was a water polo player. And kids told me about him coming out, and I was kind of like, okay. But a lot of times, water polo is a different sport, and it's a lot of short bursts and passing the ball, and so it's a little bit different game than swimming in events. So I wasn't overly excited, but I was kind of like, well, it's another body in the pool. It gives us another chance, and I thought maybe at the end, he might score us a point or 2 at the state meet. And what he ended up doing was about mid-season, well, a little bit past mid-season, one of our girl swimmers challenged him to a 500 freestyle. And basically, guys are just stronger, so generally their times are a little bit faster than the girls, and Oliver took that challenge. And he ended up getting, I can't even remember who won that, but it was like 2 or 3 tenths apart at the end between the 2. But the time that he posted was like, wow, that was actually score quite a few points. We weren't even thinking that event at that time in the season. So by the end of the season, we ended up choosing that as one of his state events. He ended up scoring for us big points at the state meet, and that is our biggest impact, Oliver Wilmick. Our next coach's award goes to probably the most improved swimmer, not just improving from like a non-swimmer to scoring for us in dual meets, or going from dual meets to scoring for us at the state meet, but a swimmer who scored for us last year, but really buckled down this summer, got into the weight room, and basically ended up scoring big points in both his events for us, and that goes to Bennett Russo. And it gets us to our last 3 Coaches Awards. Our last 3 Coaches Awards were pretty easy for me, and I knew pretty much midway through the season that these kids deserved to be recognized. And as a coach, I can give you the drills, the skills, I can give you the conditioning, we can try to do the strategy as far as winning the meets. But one of the things that you really have the hardest time doing is that in controlling your environment. And any coach up here will tell you environment is everything. And getting the kids involved and taking ownership of what you're doing as a team. And these 3 kids are responsible for having that happen this year. In 40 years coaching here, I've never had 3 people take that responsibility and do the job that they did this year as far as bonding this team, bringing this team together. So my Coaches Awards this year go to my captains, and that's Charlize Seto, Sienna Hayes, and Tyler Sessler. And with that, I'd like to thank Shane for his support and Bob's support, and obviously our diving points were big this year, and Kristen for our diving. So thank you. That was our swim.
Like I said, man, a few words. Pessimistic, humble, needs a new hat. After the meet, I was standing there, we were taking pictures, and they made an announcement. Coach Mike was co-coach of the year. So after a while, I said, well, where's the plaque? He said, oh, I gave it to the other guy. So I got him one. So here we go. Boys swimming, D3 Coach of the Year, presented to Mike McZuga. Well-deserved. Congratulations. It's pretty awesome to have the boys and girls swim and dive team state champions for 2021. Congratulations. And now on to Coach Cat, Coach Hall, and the volleyball team.
Okay, I'm going to start talking about the JV team this year. We had an awesome JV season. We started out a little raw and learning new skills and new strategy in the rotations, and we ended up having a great season, improved a lot, and the Coaches Award for the JV team goes to Sophia Crisali for just working hard every day. And now onto the varsity team. I'll start with our 2021 season highlights. So we won the Desert. We're the Desert Classic champions. We're the 2A Metro Region champions, and in the first time in school history, we're the 2021 state champions. We had so much incredible success this season. We started out at the beginning of the season with a tournament loss. We lost one game in our tournament we went to in California, and that was really just after practicing for a week. And so we knew we had a lot to learn and improve, and then we ended up losing to Valley Christian, who became the eventual 3A state champions. And since that first match of the season, we didn't lose a match the rest of the year, winning 26 matches straight. The girls on the team work so hard every day in practice, and I think it's kind of hard when you're not playing tough competition and you haven't lost to like kind of keep that drive and motivation. And the girls did. They worked hard every day and just always had this bigger goal of winning the state championship like on their radar. And besides that hard work and focus every day in practice, they did like the little extra things that made our season so exciting. Team bonding, updating the Instagram account, theme nights, and fan of the game shout outs. And I think it just led to so much incredible hype and success this season. And we want to thank the fans that really showed up for us, and especially when we needed it, when we played SCA every time, and you guys came out so strong. And I also want to thank Shane, Bob, Greg, and Mitch. You guys made our season run so smoothly. Mitch. We always had everything we needed, and we got to be a part of and do really special things like go to team dinners and take a trip to California. And for the girls, like balancing school and practice every day and late night games and weekend tournaments, and it was just such an exhausting season. And the girls on the team organized their college apps, senior speeches, homework, family life, social life, and still found a way to give 100% effort and take home the trophy at the end of the season. And I'm just so proud of each of them individually and more importantly, how they came together as a team. And so congratulations on an amazing season. For our 4 Coaches Award, I'm also going to list their region and conference awards too. So the first Coaches Award is to Quincy Rhoden. She was also the first team All-2A region and second team All-2A conference. Another Coaches Award goes to Terea Sigler. She was a first team All-2A region and region player of the year, and first team All-2A conference and offensive player of the year. Alex Goldstein, she was the second team All-2A region. And Alex was an awesome captain for us this year. And also Lily Robinson, who is our captain, first team All-2A region and second team All-2A conference. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the volleyball team, Coach Kat, Coach Greg. Again, round of applause for our coaches. They did such an amazing job. It was amazing fall. Appreciate the energy, the support, the school spirit. Come on out for winter sports. It'll be great. Although the parents couldn't be here this morning, we did record the ceremony, so the link will be sent out to the community. That ends the ceremony. Plaque recipients and seniors come up to the stage, and everybody else is excused. Thank you very much.